Well, Volibear looks like he could be one of the scariest legends and champions that you have to face in this game. The ability to go ahead and ramp and then play giant creatures and characters to be able to get ahead in this game is something that is absolutely scary. What does this deck look like? How can it better utilize things? And what gameplay are we going to show you? All of that and more are going to be starting right now. So with that being said, Volibear is a really interesting, a champion that you have. He has a really fun ability that you can go ahead and utilize as well. Because whenever you play a mighty unit, aka a character that has 5 or more attack, then you are able to channel a rune Exhausted. You're not going to be able to use it until the following turn, but you're still able to really get things going. And to be able to even do that once a turn is really cool. Now, with that being said as well, the characters that you are going to be able to get out is incredibly scary. Now, first and foremost, I gotta say Miss Fortune is probably one of the best cards in this deck from the gameplay that I've been able to, see. First and foremost, Miss Fortune is able to go ahead and have the ability to accelerate, meaning that she can go ahead and you pay stuff and she can ready up and immediately attack a base. Now, with that being said, the first time I move each turn, you may ready another card. And so one of the best things that you can be able to do is keep her even in your base for a turn. Go ahead and play something big like Magma Worm. Maybe not Magma Worm, but you know what I mean. Something like Kadrin the Infernal or Dead Bloom Predator and things like that. And then it automatically can be readied up as soon as Miss Fortune goes ahead and moves into a battlefield, which can be really fun to be able to see. Tredemir is going to be a really good one. I still don't necessarily know I like him as much just for being able to rotate 2 runes or recycle 2 runes in. But whenever you conquer after an attack, if you assign 5 or more excess damage to opponent's units, you score 1 point, which is a big deal. With that being said, too, he's also a pretty good counter for Victor. That's why maybe I would want to side deck him a little bit more than I would actually want to play him out onto the field. Now, of course, the bread and butter of this deck is going to be Volibear. I would not want to necessarily have a Coca-Cola with this guy while he is raging out like this, but outside of that, it might be fun. But with that being said, he is a 10 energy, recycle 2 character right there, or champion right there. And with that being said, your opponent must recycle 2 to be able to counter me or to choose you with a spell or effect, which can be really great at slowing down your opponent. And then when I attack, deal 5 damage split among any number of enemy units here. That's pretty good. And so, there's just a lot of things that you can be able to do to clear the board. Now, any character in here is going to be having more than 5 might to be able to utilize Volibear's ability, all except for Vi, just because she is really good to get out on the beginning game. But this deck list that we are specifically going to be playing only literally has 1 character. Now still, Carnivorous Snapvine is a really fun card as well, because when you play me, choose a unit at a battlefield and they deal damage equal to their might to each other. So, yes, it is going to go ahead and hurt itself in that case, but it's still going to be able to take something out. So if there's a victor in a battlefield or something that, is having 5 or less might, you can just go ahead and take it out right away. That's perfectly fine, and then it immediately heals up. And if you have even like Miss Fortune out onto the battlefield, you can then move her into a battlefield, ready Carnivorous Snapvine up, and then it can go into a completely different battlefield in that case as well. You just got some really good ramp here with Catalyst of the Aeons and Mobilize, which is going to be really good right now. Channel 1 Rune Exhausted, and if you can't draw a card, so even at 2, to be able to draw a card is going to be really good. And then with that being said as well, your challenge, which is going to be pretty solid as well, because you choose a friendly unit and an enemy unit, and they deal damage equal to their mights. And that's going to be something really great, because you're going to be able to see something hanging out at the opponent's base that they're just never going to be attacking the battlefields with. And so you need to go ahead and try to get them taken care of, because especially like Victor, for example, he has a really good ability of anytime an actual unit is taken out, that you are then going to be making a token, and you just flood the board very quickly with things like that. And so challenge is a very great way to easily take out Victor in that case, and you're going to be good. Then, of course, kind of a battlefield wipe, not a board wipe necessarily, but you can choose a friendly unit in your base and deal damage equal to its might to all enemies at a battlefield, and then move your unit there. So pretty much a great way to go ahead and just take a battlefield potentially for free. So, I mean, being able to hunker down. This is going to be just a really fun deck to be able to see, and there's still more cards to come as well that could help really take this deck to the next level. But with that being said, guys, we're going to be taking a look at some gameplay. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and see what we can find. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we got here. Actually, not too bad of a starting hand, really. Let's go ahead and confirm that. So we'll be able to at least get out the Blazing Scorch or the Carnivorous line. We have Sigil of the Storm. When you conquer here, recycle one of your runes. Cool. And players get one additional rune each turn. So let's go ahead then and add another one on top of that, and then go ahead and end turn. So that means on the following turn, of course, we're going to be able to go ahead and get out one of our characters. So in this case, we could ramp a little bit. That would be really cool. But let's go ahead and get this guy out. Get some more ramp going so that we can start really taking some battlefield. Now, we are going against Volibear as well, so there's a couple of things that we're going to need to be prepared for, but we already are starting at a pretty great pace to be able to get things answered. Now, of course, he's going to be able to take a battlefield right away, so that's going to be difficult. Now, if he takes out one, that's going to be maybe a little bit of a blunder if he, doesn't want to necessarily lose, a lot there. And so that's going to be the interesting thing. He is checking things, so I'm guessing he's going to, go there. Now, of course, the nice part is we're going to be able to go ahead and play, Carnivorous here. So we're going to go ahead and play him. We're going to select that first and get that activated, and then also select Volibear going in. That's going to take care of it instantly, and then we're going to be able to move a rune in. So luckily, the recycle is going to only count necessarily for one. We don't have, another one in this case to be able to do so, but we're going to at least be able to go up to one as well. And we have a pretty good hand. Now, of course, we're at 8. We're going to be able to go to 10. So we really could start getting a Volibear out. If not, I'm half tempted to go a Misfortune and a Catalyst of Aeons to really try to prepare for the Volibear so that we can move like a Misfortune, for example, the following turn. So that could be really fun. Now, we don't necessarily need to channel runes just yet. Again, though, we do need to be careful with Misfortune here, just for what she can do. And it looks like, her rush is going to be coming in, and potentially going to be able to get things moving. Now, of course, we still have some really good momentum here. Not necessarily worried about this. Now, that's the interesting thing, too, because Misfortune specifically says you may ready something else that is exhausted. And so, they can pass, but they chose to, ready up the character. So, we're looking good, though. I'm liking where we're at. Now, of course, he did have to also channel a rune, so he's only going to be at 9 this next turn. And so with that being said, I'm not tempted even just to go ahead and they only have one. So let's go ahead and let's cancel first. Let's play a Misfortune. Let's get that ramp. And then let's go ahead and confirm that. We'll recycle something that's burned. In that case, with only one, I'm also okay even with the trade here. Yeah, that's fine. So, okay. That's fine. So we'll go up to 3. Let's go and confirm that one. And then let's go and add 2 more. And that'll make us be able to also draw an additional card at the start of our turn. So then Misfortune can probably take something, is my guess. Because we're at, and come on, we're at 12 to 8. So, I mean, we're looking good. If we can really get Volibear out this... Oh my gosh! So, that's good news. This guy's missing on his draw. That's pretty much giving us the game. So let's go ahead and move Misfortune here. Ready up that guy. And then I think, just to be safe, we'll back up Misfortune here. Normally, yes, you are going to be utilizing for the damage and everything in that case, but he's in such a pickle right now, just not being able to get a whole lot out. And so, what are we going to draw? Another Misfortune. Okay, so let's go ahead and play another Volibear then. Enter Exhausted. And then, of course, we also have Stormbringer that we can utilize at any time with that. So, it's scary, though, too, because he could also have, a Stormbringer in this case. So let's go ahead and move Misfortune back. We can ready a card. And actually, yeah, that might be... I didn't even think about that play. And then moving the Volibear over there. And in turn. Now, the scary part with that is, too, though, yeah, he could still take one or the other. If he did have a Stormbringer, he could go ahead and get things going that way. You usually play 3 in a deck anyway from most of the lists that we've seen. So that's why, yeah, I'm going to be curious. Yeah, he does have that. Okay. So he is going to take out the other one. That's perfectly fine. So I still think we're able to at least win that. Now, of course, we will be able to take him out with this. We'll move him back, move Misfortune over, play this, take that out, move him over, get 8 points. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, no, you don't have the ability to move him over. Cool, thank you. All right, cool. We're in a good spot. It might have been maybe a misplay, assuming that, he had a Stormbringer in hand, and then the Volibear could have still just taken it. I'm still not necessarily worried about it, though. Not necessarily. Okay. Oh, yeah, he just gave it to me. Cool. So, we had it either way, but really cool to be able to see. All right. And that's going to be the biggest thing about Volibear. You really need to shut them down early in the game to try to get things, under control. Jinx is going to be a fun match. I really do like running. Cool. What do we need? One right there. Oh, which one am I going to pick? Now, that's the thing, too. It allows you to really select any champion in that case to be able to have beside your legend. Let's go ahead and take that and that. We're going first, so we're going to be able to go before. We might just ramp. And then let's see. We got units here have ganking, which is cool. And units here have ganking. So everyone can gank. You get to gank. That's really funny. And so, yeah, the biggest thing is just making sure that we are able to shut things down here pretty quick. Let's just go ahead and get him out, I think. Get some ramp going. We'll be able to utilize Catalyst of the Aeons if we're able to get things moving a little bit, which could be cool. Jinx doesn't necessarily have tons of removal. They have the Feather Duster and things like that. What the heck? But they don't have... Yeah, they have that missile too. That deals 5 damage. That would do it. But yeah, oh, Gust. That's what it's called. This reminds me of like Harpy's Feather Duster from... Now, we could just go ahead and take over the field right there with that. That's a good discard. Yeah, that's a good discard. That's one of the best cards. That's one of the best cards in the Jinx game. Now, of course, we still can go ahead and take them out. They only have one left. They don't have necessarily a whole lot that can really affect abilities in that case either, you know? And so, yeah, they're going to go ahead and add that back into hand to make deal 5 damage to something again after that. So that's going to be interesting. So adding that card to hand, it specifically says when you conquer, you may discard 1 to return this from the trash to your hand. So, I mean, pretty dang good. Now, we are exactly at 8, so let's just go ahead and take that over. That only costs 1 technically to recycle as well, so that's going to be pretty great to see. And that'll clear that board. Now, of course, they only have the 1. They have 4 cards in hand. I don't know if... Oh, they'll return to protect themselves. That's pretty cool, actually. Only losing 1. Okay, that's pretty solid, actually. Good job. Tie game. We have 4 cards in hand to 5, so... Oh, let's see. Let's see. It'll be really cool once they really get to add the announced cards as well. That's going to be really cool to be able to use. And deck build. It's so cool that this game's not even out yet, but we're able to utilize it so well in this case. So we're at 9. We could really build up for Volibear. Now, if we go over to here, does that count as conquering? Yeah, it does. Cool. Let's go 5 and... Yeah, we have 9. Let's go ahead and play her. Ramp that. Let's go here. Play that. And we're at 12 now, so we're going to draw an additional card as well. And then if we could go ahead and even get Volibear out, we can move Misfortune into something. They're able to deal 5 damage to something, so odds are Misfortune is dead. But I would much rather lose Misfortune on something. And we'll still be able to gank over after the fact, too. And that's a 4 cost, if I remember correctly, on the missile. It's a 4 cost, yeah. So that Jinx is good. Discarding 2 cards, which can be helpful. And it came in ready as well. The missile isn't a reaction, though, if I remember correctly. It has to be... yeah, it's not a reaction. It has to be casted, so you can't use that to deal additional damage in an attack. So, could really just go to double reinforce all of this. That's pretty cool. Now, which one do we want to take out? They're both 6, so I think... Yeah, let's take out the 5 cost. And that's fine. We know one card, they're completely tapped out. We know the one of the 2 cards that they have in hand. So let's go ahead and play a Volibear. Ramp it up. Move Misfortune over to here. Ready him. Move it over to get the other Jinx. And that's going to be another point for us. And then, yeah, there we go. And yeah, let's just, I mean, Volibear doesn't even take damage. He deals the 5 damage first to Jinx in that case. And then with the ganking back and forth, that could be really interesting. So they're in a bit of a problem here. Now, of course, they would be able to take out a Misfortune with the missile as well. That is going to be costing 4 of the 5 that they have, which is not going to necessarily be a whole lot that they can do with that. But it looks like they might be playing something else. They might be recycling something. I'm not sure. This is interesting. But still, I mean, it's going well. That's it? You didn't want to play anything. Whew. Okay, so we got things going. Let's go ahead and play this first. And let's ramp it. Why couldn't I discard and draw too? Huh. Weird. Well, let's go to draw a card. And play that here. And then let's end turn. Yeah, that's going to be another GG, man. Yep. I mean, just... I think, yeah, they pretty much just kind of gave it up in that case. And that's the one thing I do really like about this game, is that going second actually does have some really good benefits. You still draw an additional card for going first, which I also really like in this game, so you do technically start with 5 cards in hand, which is really cool. But then on top of that too, being able to even just have that extra rune going second, like for example with Victor, is very good, because then you can go ahead and play a 2-cost and tap 1 to be able to win. Now don't tell me you're going to be waiting till end of the game and just wait me out, dude. Because, I mean, again, this isn't even ranked. This is literally just for fun. Yeah. I think he's just stalling it out. Maybe? No? Or maybe the game's just glitched. I'm not sure how I just drew that card. Okay, it's counting down at least. Okay, there we go. And that will be the game. Another good one. I like it. So Volibear, though, is a really fun deck to be able to play. It has a lot of potential to be able to do a lot of devastating things to your opponent. I am so excited to be able to see how that is going to be able to unwind, especially as we continue to get additional cards in this reveal season. What deck do you think is going to be on top of the meta when the game does release out in October? But until then, guys, go ahead and let me know that answer down in the comments below, and have a good one.